You know what? I think these might actually be the best builds I have ever done. It's mostly just the set of them all together. They give such a really good feel in this street, and then even the interiors are pretty good. I mean, don't get me wrong, this one's pretty shoddy. I was kind of lazy on it, but once we come upstairs, I just really like the feel that all of these have. It's just got such like a cozy feel, I guess you could say. Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with this quality for the rest of the village, because honestly, again, this is literally my best builds I've ever done. Like, even just the minute details, like putting the buttons in and the signs in, and putting this sign that has the name on it as well. I don't know, I've just never gone into much detail like that, and especially this alleyway as well. Normally I would have just left this blank, there's nothing in it, but I actually went in and put some stuff in it. Also, I did go back from last episode and put these beehives in. Now for today, I'm planning on doing some sort of central like water fountain and maybe a couple of gardens around the water fountain, and then maybe a building or two in this space, and then possibly more over that way as well. With the fountain as well, I kind of want this beacon to be underneath it and then have the beacon beam go up through the fountain as well, because I just think that that would look pretty cool. Hopefully I can make that work, because it might be a bit boxy, it might be a bit chunky, but I'm hoping that I can make it go through walls, because that would be really useful. Before I started recording this episode as well, I did go and collect a whole lot of resources that I'm going to use for these builds. And if I'm being honest, I probably got way too much, because I got all of this wood, which I don't even think I'm going to use half of. I got all of this moss, which I'm probably not even going to use more than a stack of. And honestly, I definitely just over-prepared. But regardless though, I'm hoping that that means that I don't have to have any interruptions, and I can just spend all of today purely building. And that being said, I think I'm going to start off with the fountain and gardens. And as a matter of fact, before I even do that, I'm going to widen these paths as well to make them 5 wide. Alright, so I just quickly widened the path, and I think I'm going to try and make the edges slightly circular, and I'm just going to do that by adding tiny little curves like this. It's not going to make too much of a noticeable difference until I add the gardens in. Unfortunately, before I do anything else, I think I'm actually going to have to destroy this beacon, because it is directly in the way of what I need to do. When I replace this beacon, I'm probably still going to use all these resources, but once I actually set up the villages, I'm definitely going to replace it for a fully emerald one. Because all that gold, and especially the iron, is going to come in really useful. Okay, well, for this garden, I don't think I'm going to do too much that's overly too special. Like, all I'm going to do is just do a single strip of smooth stone slabs, and then whatever stuff I decide to put in for the garden on the inside. In terms of what I'm actually going to be putting in the garden as well, I seen Scar in last season of Hermitcraft use the nether grass, these things right here, in his gardens, and I thought that that looked really cool, so I think I'm going to try and do that with like a border of these azalea leaves and the azalea bushes as well. I don't know whether it's going to be out of place for the style, but I do want to at least try it, because it is a very pretty design. Before I do the gardens, I'm gonna go through and path this off. And then right here is gonna be where our fountain goes. So if I just find the center really quickly, and probably about here is where our beacon is gonna be. Now I just gotta figure out some sort of design for the fountain as well. I might just go for a really simple design, just like this. Alright, well, I'm gonna need to do something about being able to walk around this. So I think I'm gonna make a bit of an indent into here. Alright, that should be fine. And as for the fountain, I might actually lower these down a block. Yeah, no, that feels a lot better. I just didn't like the way it felt when the fountain was on the same level as the garden. It just looked funky. And I'm just gonna do slabs along here. Or as a matter of fact, in here I might do stairs to make a bit of a bump up going up to where the beacon's going to be sitting. And then from here I am completely at a loss for what to do. I really don't know where to go from here. I suppose I should test to see if the beacon beam goes through walls, because that could be a possibility. Alright, well here's the big test. Is this going to stop the beam? What about multiple? No, okay, cool. Well, that's probably what I'm gonna do then. That makes my life a whole lot easier. And the last block, the beacon is back down. I should probably actually set it into something before all I'm gonna do is that, and I don't know where from there. Because obviously I can't just leave it at that, because that looks really weird. I suppose we could just put a slab on top. I mean, it isn't bad, and I don't think there's gonna be really much else that I can do that's gonna not stop the beacon beam. I don't know, I'll just leave it at that for now and see if I can't think of anything else. The only thing I will actually add is I might put some water in here. Okay, well, onto these gardens. I don't have 100% of a plan down for what I'm gonna do. I only just have a very basic kind of concept, I guess. I don't know, something like that, and then the inside is going to be filled with moss, and then those nether grass things that I was talking about earlier. I would do some sort of coral, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to die when I put it over here, and I don't know how to not make it die. And it's not like this stuff overly looks too bad anyway, like, I think it looks pretty good at least. Alright, well, I just got to copy this over to the other side. Alright, well, this is turning out to be a pretty decent little town center. It looks kind of awkward now, but that's just because it's got so much open space over here. So I think it's going to look fine once there's other buildings. And even if it doesn't, I can always just change it. It's not like it's going to be too big of a deal. And while we're doing gardens as well, ever since I built this, I did actually want to put a garden along the front here. I just never did. So I think I'm going to do that now. Alright, well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a few of these regular azaleas with a moss on top to make it taller, with most of these along the way. And for along here, I'm actually just going to use regular grass, because one of the mods is going to bring the moss from on here, and it's going to make all of this stuff into mossy stone and whatever, and it's going to look really bad. So let me just go and grab the bone meal out and hurry along the process of the grass. It is a bit annoying because it's such a dull color. But if I use the pink petals, then that's going to make it mostly covered. And now on to the next problem. What am I going to do here? Because I can't place the petals here because this is here. As a matter of fact, there's supposed to be another one of these here, but I think a creeper blew it up. Okay, well, I did a little bit of thinking. And I think it would probably be best thing to do here would be to put some of these cherry blossom leaves in here. It is a little bit more dense than the rest of this. But I could also just put more of the leaves along the rest of it if it looks too funny. But I do think it works. Alright, well, this turned out pretty good in my opinion. I think the last thing I want to add on here before I move on to some of the buildings is I might want to put a few street lamps in. And I'm going to recycle this design, except I'm actually going to put some sort of a post on it. And I'm thinking I might use mud, because a fence post is just going to look too thin. And if I want to keep that color, the mud is probably going to be the closest thing to it, these mud walls here. Pretty much what I'm thinking for these street posts is I put a stripped pillar of mud. And here is where I'm going to recycle that concept from over there. Minor adjustment, I think I'm going to put this here first, just so then there's something for the fence gate to post. That is not at all what I meant to say. The fence gate to move into. And that also gives it some extra height so it doesn't look quite as goofy now. And I think that works pretty well. Let me go grab some lanterns and see if it passes the lantern check. I don't know why I make a lot of terms like that. Like, I kept on saying distance check a couple videos ago, and now I'm saying a lantern check. It's not like it's a common use thing, it's just putting a lantern on there or going to a distance. I don't know, it's kind of strange, I don't know why I do that. But regardless, it does work with lanterns pretty well, so I think I might add one more on this side, and then that should be this one done, and then I'll just copy it around to the other four corners. Okay, yes, that definitely works really well. I feel like this sun is not moving. Okay, on to the next corner, doing the same thing again. You're kidding, it's raining, and that means it's snowing, which is just gonna ruin the entirety of this aesthetic. I posed this last episode, but I'm kind of even more considering it now. I want to use some sort of external tool to change the chunks here out of snowy biome, so that then it's not constantly snowing in here. It just always ruins the aesthetic, and it makes it from looking really cozy and clean and nice to looking gross. Like, why? It's just really annoying. Okay, well, now that all four of them are in, it does look pretty good. It's a shame that there's so much snow all over it, ruining it. Which, again, is why I want to change it. It's just really freaking annoying. I think I'm now good to move on to the builds. And that being said, I think I do actually have some sort of an idea of what I'm going to do. I'm planning on doing two buildings side by side to each other that are almost identical, but just ever so slightly different. And one of them on this side is probably going to be a toolsmith and weaponsmith, and this one on this side is going to be an armorsmith. And they're going to be pretty much a block apart from each other, really, really close. And I'm hoping with these buildings, it's going to fill up this entire space all the way back to this path. Okay, so basically the plan for these two builds is pretty simple, really. So they are both going to be blue buildings. One's going to be light blue, one's going to be dark blue. And then one of them is going to have pillars of dark oak, and then the other is going to have pillars of spruce. And now, as for which one is going to be which, I'm just going to place them down and see which one looks better with each color. Honestly, I think I hit it on the first mark, so I'm just going to leave it as the colors that they are. Now, I'm not 100% on this part yet, but I think I'm going to make these trims out of the dark oak. I'll have to see how it looks first before I fully commit, but it'll definitely work on the spruce one at least. It's just this one that I'm worried about. At the moment, it doesn't look too bad, but whether that's going to change once I add the rest of it in. Okay, no, I think that works. I mean, I'm almost positive it's going to work on this one, because the dark oak and then the spruce log is pretty much the exact same color. Alright, I'm just going to move on to these side walls now and start getting these into place. And I think as far as these are going to go, I'm thinking maybe all the way right back to here, which might look a little bit funky having both of these in line, actually. Although it'd probably be fine once I add some sort of, like, garden here. Well, I don't know whether I want to add something as posh as over here. Maybe just, like... Actually, as a matter of fact, I might not even put a garden there. I might just put a couple of decorations, like, on this alleyway back here. Alright, well the walls are up. They still need to put the details on, obviously, but they are up. Now, the next thing to do is the roof, and I'm thinking I might do one of these types of roof designs where it goes up with a block in between the stairs, because otherwise it's going to be too small being one like this. That being said, the one single resource that I forgot to go and get is bricks, so I am going to have to go and collect more. This place should be fine. I'm hoping that if I just get one full backpack of clay, then I should be fine to never have to come here again. Alright, that should be plenty enough of clay. If I run out of that, then I don't know what I'm gonna do. Alright, well now I just gotta craft them all. Alright, that's all the bricks, and honestly, it is a lot less than I thought it would make. But it hopefully should be fine. Alright, well let's just get straight into it then, eh? You know, as a matter of fact, I might even actually time-lapse this roof. Alright, well we finished with the roofs now, and now I gotta move on to actually detailing the walls, because at the moment, they are very boring, they are very basic, and let's be honest, no one wants to look at them. And I was noticing this when I was placing the roof as well. These are actually 6 tall up to the top block, instead of the 5 tall that they normally are, so I might encounter a little bit of an issue at the top, but I'm sure I'll be able to work around it, probably just with a few signs. And speaking of signs, I think that's actually where I'm gonna start. Again, I'm just doing the same thing I did on the other buildings by placing a strip of sign under this stairs. I don't know what I'm going to do in the middle here, because obviously I'm not going to be able to place signs here and signs here. So I think I might just leave it blank and do some other sorts of decorations in here. And being 1 block wide as well, I think what I might do is I might put hanging signs, because they'll hang perfectly across here with their sign dangling down. And on top of that, I'm going to probably do some chains as well, and maybe a few banners. Okay, so now just the top layer of signs, and I can move on to doing some windows. Alright, I'm gonna be honest. The more and more I walk past this, I don't like it. I'm gonna change them out for the full leaf blocks now. So much better, bro. Just the full color. I mean, it probably wouldn't have looked too bad if the grass wasn't gross underneath it, but like, because of the biome, it's all like stale looking and crusty. Anyway, back to placing signs. Alright, well it still looks very flat obviously, but it is still missing the windows, and I think I'm going to do buttons along it again, just like I've done for these other two buildings. Especially on these sides as well, I think I'm going to go quite a bit more heavier on the buttons as well. I don't know, before I go deciding anything like that though, I should probably start putting in windows. I think for this one, I'm going to do 2 windows like this, and then just so they're not exactly identical, on this one I'm going to do a window like that. And moving on to this next layer, I think to keep on that smaller window theme, I might go one here. No, actually probably along this one here. And might change it up a little bit and do one along there instead. And then moving over to this next one, again keeping in theme with the lower level, I'm going to do big windows. Probably not quite as big as that though, probably just 2x2s. See, I don't know what to do on the top here, because like, they're pretty tall, so whether I do something like this, and then like there and there or something like that, it looks kind of odd at the moment, but once I add trapdoors and buttons, it might look a bit better. And then on this other one, I'll probably just do a single window, but like a tall one like that. I mean, I kind of did like a role reversal, because this one was the one with all the skinny windows, and then the top one's really wide, and then this one was the one with the wide windows, and then the top ones are super skinny. But I think that kind of works, because otherwise it would have looked very copy and pasted, because especially on this one, it would have been practically the same thing on 2 layers in a row. Alright, I think I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the yellow building up there, and just wait until I actually build the interior to do windows. I should be fine to add a few in on this top floor now, but I think I might still leave it regardless. And before I do anything else though, I definitely need to actually go and smelt up some glass to put in here. Alright, well while that is smelting, I might go through and try and do some sort of the detailing in this alleyway here. I don't know what I'm going to do here. I think I might just do maybe like a progression of slabs, like 2 full blocks, 2 slabs, 2 full blocks, 2 slabs going down until it's level. I think the progressions of 2 is fine, because if I do 3, I don't think it's going to fit very well. And then making sure this place is all sufficiently lit up, I think I'm going to do a trapdoor with a lantern on it over... Oh, you're kidding. You're actually joking. And I can already tell that that only dropped 2, but... I'm about to launch my computer across the room. You can't exist in nighttime for 2 seconds without being mauled by a trillion mobs, and especially the creepers, bro. Alright, I waited it out for day to come back around, and it's finally here. It felt like forever, so I can finally start patching these holes. But like, come on man, there was no need for a creeper to spawn, blow up, and then a charged creeper to spawn and blow up as well. And the fact that they drop little baby creepers that blow up again is just actually ridiculous. And again, the worst part is that you get like 2% of the resources that they exploded back. See, like how did that blow up? There was no damage around here, it was just this part here was gone, and then for some reason that blew up. Like, come on. Oh, and as well as that, every single trapdoor along here. Well, not trapdoor, sign. Alright, well now that I have recovered from that, what I was trying to say is that if I pull out the spider eye, I do actually need to move this over. Pretty much, the spider eye is just like, it's from one of the mods I have, or actually I think it's from the shader. It makes it so that whenever I hold out a spider eye, it shows me the light levels with these little dots, like say I come over here, where it's all unlit. The yellow dots means that at nighttime mobs can spawn, but say I come in here and get rid of this lantern and hold it out. See these red ones? This means that mobs can spawn at any time. It's just a nice little trick, and you can do it in vanilla anyway by just using the F3 menu, but it makes it so that I don't have to look at every single block individually. But side rants and creeper explosions aside now, as I said earlier, I'm going to use hanging signs in here for detail, because it's just like connects up and then it gives like a little dangly thing. I don't exactly know what it would be, but I think it looks cool and is a decently easy to make resource. And also to use some of these extra chains I have, I'm going to put some chains along here, and I guess they could be wires maybe or something like that. I don't want to overdo it with stuff, but again, I think maybe like a banner or 2 along here would be fine. I'm probably not going to do a design for it, I'm probably just going to leave it blank, but... And actually, as a matter of fact, I don't even have any wool for a banner, so I'm going to have to do that out of another... Oh my god, what was that? What I was trying to say is I'm going to have to do that at another time. Okay, well, the glass is smelted now, So I should be able to at least get most of the windows in. Well, never mind, I'm definitely going to get all the windows in. I did not think it was going to make that much. Holy. I don't know if you can hear all the frogs going off in the background. But I would not think that this would be the type of biome to have frogs screaming their heads off. No, wait, these are very, very, very similar buildings to these last two. But that kind of does make sense, because these types of towns that are smaller would pretty much have all the same copy-paste buildings, essentially. I don't know how I'm going to do the window shutters for these. Speaking of those as well, I'm pretty sure I called them window doors in my last episode. Bro, I don't know what I was thinking calling them window doors. But still, I mean, I'm not sure shutters are the right word either, but at least it's better than window doors. I was actually fully clueless. I think I might leave these ones shutterless, because I think it's gonna look really strange having them on. Like, if I put these here, and then I can't even do any on this unless if I do like that. Yeah, no, it looks really weird. Now, looking at it as well, I think I might remove the ones from over there as well. I don't know, it just doesn't really look good, especially when the ones on the other side doesn't have it either. Alright, well, I'll just put the doors on now. I think I might make one of them a spruce door, and then the other one a dark oak door. Probably this one spruce, this one dark oak. Not that I really want to do the interior, because I just hate doing interiors. I kind of have to, I can't just leave them empty. Now, I did say this in the beginning of the video, but both of these buildings, one of them's going to be a toolsmith and weaponsmith, and then the other one is going to be an armorsmith. But at the moment, the very basic plan is that this front area is going to be like a reception area, and then here's also where the stairs going up to the second floor is going to be. And out the back, there's going to be a workshop where all the people are working away at their toolsmiths or weaponsmiths and armorsmiths or whatever they are. I'm thinking as well on this back wall, I might do like a staircase going up and have an extra entrance on the back side. Before I even consider doing that though, I need to actually add some sort of a floor in here. I don't quite yet know how large I'm going to make this reception, probably not much bigger than this. I'll leave 2 blocks space for the stairs going up, and then I'd probably put a wall along here for the back, honestly. Then have the reception table here, entrance to the back here, or maybe 1 block over so then the stairs have some breathing room. And then I'll do this. And the floor for the workshop is going to be made of andesite. Okay, well, I think I might start on this bottom floor here. I do need to go and clear my inventory though. Going straight in with the counter, I'm going to do the exact same counter design I've been doing this whole time. And actually, I might even put a strip of logs along here. And then to cover up this gap here, trapdoors. Now, this is going to be a tricky space to work with, this workshop. And I need to actually figure out what makes weapon and toolsmiths. I think it's the grindstone, but I'm not 100 on that, so I'll have to figure some stuff out. So moving on to up here, I'm definitely going to place a wall here, that's for sure. I think I might leave the wall at probably there. Going back into it with the trapdoors to make a railway. And while I'm holding the trapdoors, I'll do these as well. I think I might use this for a pantry, this space here. And then have this area out here as the kitchen. So that being said, I'll put a kitchen top right here. Actually, I might do the kitchen top out of spruce or dark oak, sorry. This space out here, I'll put some sort of a table. Maybe? No, I'm gonna do super simple chair designs again. And I'm actually gonna steal these designs from the restaurant. They're not even that good, really. They're just super cheap and easy. And as a matter of fact, they're actually pretty bad. So I might switch the gate out for a slab. And even that's just better. I don't even know what I was trying to do with those chairs. And actually, I'm gonna have to switch these chairs around. I'll worry about lighting last, so for now I'll just put torches everywhere so nothing can spawn. Okay, I'm gonna try and put some cabinets over the top here, using some barrels and trapdoors. And then I'll just leave this exposed to get that nice texture. In here for the cupboard, I'm just gonna simply put trapdoors down like this. And then doing this weird pattern so that I can actually have some stuff on these shelves. And that's fine anyway, because it just makes it look like the shelf is kind of falling over a bit. And actually, so that I don't have the open grid side, I'm going to place them like this. Okay, very basic, very simple, but it gets the job done. Moving up to the upstairs area. This is going to be where all the bedrooms are going to be, obviously. As for how I'm going to split this up, I have absolutely no clue. Whether I practically copy the exact same thing as what I did in the yellow building, or not the yellow building, the white building, and do cuts like this, or I do try to do something else. I really actually have no clue. I think I am going to do what I said and copy the design from the white building, doing these. And I did just think of an idea. It might not work, like it might not be enough roof space, but what I'm thinking is I might be able to utilize some of that extra roof space and add an extra like attic room. I don't know why I said attic so strangely, but I will have to cut that attic room off at this end though, just so then there's enough space for this window to take full effect. That's if I do end up going through with the attic room idea. If I did the attic room idea, it would probably cut the roof off here. And you know what, I didn't actually really think of this very well. How is this gonna work? I suppose it would be just like this, really. Only thing being, I don't think villagers can actually climb ladders, so I don't know whether this is gonna be a viable room or not. Before I actually kit out the attic, I should probably finish whatever's downstairs here. So that means putting in these doors and putting in the poles as well. And actually, I just remembered as well, I was gonna put some sort of a door here on this side. Well, I'm still contemplating that, so I won't quite move the table yet. Starting with definitely putting in these posts. Eventually I am gonna run out of beds, so I might need to make some sort of a wool farm. But for now, I should have enough to at least finish 3 or 4 more buildings. I'm hoping that when they sleep in this bed here, they don't get launched out on top of the roof or something like that. Because that would kind of be annoying, although knowing Minecraft physics, they probably will. Okay, so I have just tested, and I should only need 1 of each type of villager for this. So I should only need to place down 1 grindstone and 1 smithing table. I don't really know what else to put in a workshop, really. I mean, I might just put some, like, shelving in, and that might be about it, because there's not exactly much that you can do for a workshop in Minecraft. Oh, and I might also put down, like, a crafting table as well. Probably just do that, and I might do some, like, racks over here for stuff. Thinking maybe I'll put down like a iron axe and pretend it's a hammer or something. Man, I'm really at a loss for what to put in here. Maybe some like iron trap doors or something. Honestly, that might have to be it, because I'm completely at a loss for ideas here. There's just nothing I can really think of that would go well in there. I might come back to it later, but for now I'm just gonna move on to up here, where I'm gonna start off by putting this painting in. Then in here I'll put a group of like 3 pickles. And then I'll put a lantern here. Something I really wanted to do. I seen somebody do this the other day, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. They put down a item frame, put like a potato in it, and then they put a pressure plate on top. And look at that. That's actually so good. That is something I would never have thought of. No, that's super cool. I just seen that on a random TikTok video as well. I'm actually super glad I seen that. Okay, now moving on to the fun part that everybody loves, lighting. And Lord have mercy, are these things expensive. Each of these rooms, again, are just going to get the exact same treatment as the white building. Just a single drawer and a few candles. Lantern is going to go in the corner as well, just to save even more on space. And as a matter of fact, I think I might actually swap these out for bookshelves. Now, I personally think that that works pretty well. I wish there was something I could put on this wall, but there's not exactly many options here. So along here, I'm going to do simple bookshelf. And a bedside table on either side of here. This side can get a lantern, this side can get some candles. And that's the lighting done for this room. Might put a painting up here. And I think that's pretty much the upstairs interior for this building done. Oh, never mind actually, because I forgot about the attic. I think in this attic, I'm just going to go super simple here. Put in a little bit of a couch here, or whatever you want to interpret that as. See what a window is gonna. I can't put a window there, never mind. And then probably just like a couple of boxes, honestly. And I think that's about as decorated as up here is going to get, other than some lanterns. That's literally probably what it's gonna be. Something I just realized, these are gonna make villagers turn into fishermen, so I'm gonna have to remove them, unfortunately, because they did actually create a decent little design there. As for what I'm going to replace them with, probably just stairs, honestly. And I'll lay a line of signs along here as well. And actually, you know what, I'm going to have to change these middle two into stairs as well, just so that I don't have that blue backdrop. Now on this wall right here, wherever is the middle, I'm going to put in a window. And I think I have just accidentally poked out a hole directly in the middle. Okay, I was just testing out, seeing what it was going to look like adding 2 more windows. And I do actually like it, so I think I'm going to keep it. It does look kind of strange in here, but it's not overly too bad. Now, what I did actually initially grab the signs for, I'm going to put some signs in here advertising the stuff they sell, so... And also, I am actually going to update these with whatever the prices are in here, so... I'm probably going to get really sick of doing it and give up on it almost immediately, but... Okay, so now this place should be finally done. Fingers crossed. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything. I mean, other than lighting the candles and doing the lighting, which I need to go and get iron for, I think it is done. Okay, so I've got the iron now, and I've made the lanterns. So hopefully that is all that needed to be done. Might just punch the hole into the wall here and see how I feel about it. I'm not 100 on it, but it does need something to go there, so I think I might just commit and see how it looks if I add it on the outside. It's kind of strange being a single door, so it will have to be a double door. That definitely helps to fill the space. Now if I just put some trapdoors here. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's mostly this. I'm having a big problem with this. I don't like it. What I could do is I could do this. And I might, as a matter of fact, put a little bit of a sign strip along here as well. Okay, I think I might go through with the button treatment and see how we look. Alright, well, in between putting the buttons on, I went and collected some bamboo to put some bamboo signs along here because I figured it would be a nice color. And I also went and repaired all my armor. But the buttons are on now, and it does look a decent amount better. I mean, because I've just put them on and I'm talking about them right now, they probably look super obnoxious and really out there. But once you actually stop looking individually at the button and at the build as a whole, it stops looking so noisy and very obvious. Anyway, side tangent done. It's time to start on the interior of this next building. And this one I'm kind of scared for, because I already struggled enough with that one over there. And I want to make these different. So, it's going to be a real challenge. I think I'm going to do probably about the same width for this first room of just 4 wide, and then split it off with a wall again. But I think this time I might change the stair around a little bit, so like make it go up on a curve. Or maybe not actually, because it's got this window here. I don't know, these builds are actually pretty difficult, because I don't want to make them exactly the same, but being the same shape and almost the exact same trade, it kind of makes it difficult. One thing I could do that I just thought of, I could actually have like a window in the back here looking into this area. That could be pretty cool. I'm thinking to help make this one a bit more different, I could make it a bit more of an open floor plan instead of having it closed off like I did with the other one. Then that should allow me to have loads more space to do more furniture in this area. And this time I'm going to make sure to put the door in first so that I can actually plan around it. Well, here's the first thing that I'm semi-unsure on. I don't know where I want to put the stairs. I'm thinking maybe right here, but that does actually kind of cut off quite a bit of the space. And I could just do the same thing where I push it around like this again. And that might be the best option, honestly. Yeah, that's definitely the best option, because then otherwise with anything else I would have to leave a big gap or something so that I can get around the stairs. And because I'm going to do pretty much the same thing I did with the roof on the other building. So if I had the stairs running along here, then I wouldn't be able to get back around to this part of the area without making it an open floor, and then that doesn't give enough space to make a few bedrooms, then I would only have like 1 or 2 bedrooms. I can't remember how I figured this out to work last time, whether it's just straight wall along here, but then I don't know if this leads for perfect sized rooms or not. That's the only thing. I think this is just how I did it on the other one. It does feel a lot more smaller though, which is kind of strange. Like, I remember this last room being 4 wide. Well, regardless, I don't exactly want them all to be exactly the same, so even if it is different, then it should be fine. I don't think I'm going to put an attic on this one either, because it was a nice detail in the other room, but it was kind of hard to work with. So instead, I think I might just stick with having super tall roofs. And I'll probably punch holes like this in. Make sure to light this one up before mobs start spawning as well. On this wall, I think I'm going to chuck in another big window just like on the front. Or actually, no, this is the building without the big window, isn't it? Sorry if you can hear really loud crunching noise in the background, because the rain just picked up super heavy. Well, that should be it for the big details. Now I just need to go into the smaller details like the furniture and stuff. Okay, I'm probably just gonna do almost the exact same interior, just slightly different to be more fit to this building instead. So I'm gonna do big counter along here. This is our kitchen. Going in with some trap doors for a shelf above. I'm just gonna try something out. I don't know how this is gonna turn out. Well, not really. It doesn't exactly work that well. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I do actually like it. Where is this zombie? There he is. While I'm down here as well, I should probably finish off this floor. I'm just gonna do the same thing and do a layer of andesite. Okay, getting back on track here, I'm gonna put in a table right here. It does leave it a little bit tight through here, but then that way I can have better looking chairs. And for those chairs, I'm probably just gonna do this, and that should be fine, and then I'll just copy that over to here. And there we go. That's pretty much, other than like table items, and probably gonna copy the cutting board from over there into here again. Other than that, that's pretty much everything in here. Actually though, something I might do is I'm gonna move this trapdoors down so that I can actually put stuff on it. And while I'm doing that as well, I'm gonna flip them so then I don't have the open gritted side. Alright, cool. Now I should be able to put stuff up on top here. Just a matter of fact, I might as well start doing that, seeing I have all the things that I need. Now there's a bit of a gap over here, so I might put a bookshelf in. Not that I have enough bookshelves to do it at the moment, but I'll go and craft some up real quick. Not gonna be an overly special bookshelf, probably just something like this. Having that gap on the inside so I can put like a something. I don't know yet, I haven't really thought that far ahead. I'm gonna come back and put a pot in this space later, but I don't actually have any bricks left, so I'll have to go and collect clay, so again, I'm just gonna leave that for later. I don't know what to put in this space either, but I might just leave it open, seeing it's kind of an entranceway. As I said, I'm gonna do the same thing with the potato and the pressure plate to make like a cutting board. Well, I did make an iron one for some reason, so I'm gonna have to change that out for a wood one. So there we go. I still really like this design. I don't know how I didn't think of it, honestly, because it does just make sense. While I've got these lanterns as well, I might actually just do the lighting in here. Yeah, that should be good. It's a bit dark in this corner, but it's whatever. Okay, moving on upstairs. Again, these are bedrooms, so it's pretty much just going to be the exact same thing. A bed or a double bed in each room. And then a bedside table as well. As a matter of fact, this room is pretty much going to be a splitting image of the last room. As well as that, in each of these rooms, again, just copying directly from the last one, I'm going to put bookshelves in the walls. Okay, well, all of the top rooms in this building are pretty much exact replicates of the ones on the next one over. But that doesn't really matter anyway, because this is probably the one part of the builds that I'm going to be seeing the least. I think I'm just going to put a lantern in this spot instead of going and getting a flower pot, because I really don't feel like going all that way just for some clay. And now onto the last part of this build as well, I got to build the back entrance. Alright, well there we go. I'm pretty sure, other than just doing some buttons on this building and probably adding a window in here too, because it looks really blank. I think that's just about as detailed as these buildings are gonna get. That's them done, I think. That being said, I will add one of these stair lanterns over here, but I do need to go and get another torch or a piece of coal at least. Okay, there we go. There's the lantern. I'm gonna go quickly punch this window in. That's right, that's why I couldn't do it. Well, I could just do two smaller ones, like one here and then one on the top floor as well. But that's not gonna work, is it? Because it's got the signs there, or at least it's supposed to, but I think I've already made the mistake. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Maybe I could just do a two-tall one on this bottom area. Alright, okay, that's fine. Again, a little silly looking, but not that bad. That does remind me though, I should go out here and fix this up. Alright, well I'm gonna just quickly go through and add the buttons to this building, and it should be done. Ooh, actually, before I say that, I should probably put a window or two along here. Now, placement is the next question. I reckon one here, or so it perfectly lines up with where I put this lantern. I think that is just about it for this building. I'm gonna have to relocate that window on the inside, because it looks really, really odd being there on the outside. Bit of a shame though, because it looks really cool from this angle. Okay, well now I can get started on the buttons. Might be a little bit much on the buttons on this side, but I can always just remove them once I add the path in if it is. Okay, and with that final button, these two buildings are done, I think. Well, never mind. I forgot that I needed to do the bottom floor of these buildings, or this building, sorry. Should be a pretty easy task. Okay, this looks super, super strange, so I'm going to remove this and put in a stripped log pillar. Let me just have a single door there. Yeah, now, back here in the workshop, just like the other one, it's going to be super, super simple. Using polished andesite here to make a bench, except this time I might just wrap the bench around the entire way. From here, probably just a shelf on this side, and then I'll go and grab the workstation, and then that's probably about it. And you know what? To tie two villages together, I'm going to go and put a stone cutter in there and make that the armorer and masonry. Yeah, I always hate the way that this thing is, because it makes it really hard to work it in with designs. So I think I might just lower this part down a little bit and have this right there, so then it looks like you can kind of just slide it along here and then cut it like that, because that's how it would work in real life. It would be like flush with here normally actually, and then you'd slide it across and it would cut. Okay, now I'll just add a light in each corner. So I can use up this pressure plate that I've got here. I think I might put it down here, and as if it's like a project that they're working on at the moment. And now I'll just put in a few signs, just like the last shop, for what you can get here. So diamond armor, then we'll do iron armor, and we'll do stone. No, actually, as a matter of fact, we'll go stone quotes available. Okay, and final detail as well. Not only in this little chunk of the alleyway here, but also out the front here. Every time it turns nighttime, it gets super dark here. It is spawn safe, but it's to a point of darkness where it looks kind of bad. So I'm gonna do some more street posts that hang off the sides like I've done over here, and put maybe one here and then another one here, and just try and make sure that the place is sufficiently lit to where it looks good, as well as being spawn safe. Now I'm gonna have to wait until nighttime to see if that has lit it up enough. So I think we're not too far off of that. Yeah, like the sun's over there at the moment. So while I wait for that to happen, I might just go around and clear up some of this snow and make sure it's all looking in its best shape. Okay, so it's nighttime now, and as we can see, it is still kind of dark in this spot, and I noticed as well it's pretty dark over here as well. But it is significantly better than it was, so I think I'm happy with that for the time being. Now, one final thing that I need to do for this build is I just need to make sure that these paths wrap around. And that's a pretty simple and quick task. All it is I just gotta pretty much just wrap a 5-wide path around the entire thing. And this honestly shouldn't take more than like 3 or 4 minutes, so I'm just gonna get straight to it. Okay, so that small project is done, and now I just need to figure out what I'm going to call these buildings. I think this one is going to be tools and stuff, but then for this one, I really don't know, because it's the armorer and the mason. Okay, well maybe I might just call this one tool masters and this one armor and stone, or something like that. Then again, reincorporate the numbers over here. I'd have to do different ones though, because this is the 1-7 street. So this one would have to be probably like the... I might just do this as the 1-0 street, honestly, because it's seeing that it's town square. I don't know, I'll see how the letters line up first before I fully commit to anything. Alright, well, I spent forever doing this. Like, I think 3 or 4 in-game days have passed by since I've been doing this. But I am finally done with the signs. So we've got the tool masters, and across from it we've got stone and gear. I tried doing armor and stone or something like that, but it didn't fit on the signs, and I would have had to have gone across to the next sign. So I just changed it to stone and gear. But regardless, I've managed to make it work, I've managed to make it fit, and all of these buildings are now done. So I'm actually pretty happy with the way that it turned out today. The only thing I might have added was maybe some banners in through here, but I don't want to bother going and getting stone at the moment, so it's just going to be left at that. But regardless, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I've cranked the shaders up here just so that it looks a little bit better, so there might be a few frame drops here and there, but I think at the moment this is pretty cool. It's got a really nice feel to it. I should probably get out of the gardens actually. It's got a really nice feel to it. It feels really homey, nice and warm, probably mostly because of the shaders, but it does feel nice and warm regardless. And I think especially once I finish out this street and I put buildings up down there, and then at least the buildings covering this town square, it should be a really nice feel to it, or should have a really nice feel to it, sorry. But regardless, this is a shorter video today, so I'm going to end it right here. I'm sorry that I couldn't do more, but I'm just running out of time. And that's kind of half the reason why I went straight into building and collected the resources beforehand. Mostly just so then I don't have to spend time doing that this episode, and I could just get straight into the actual building and have something accomplished by the end. But regardless, if you did actually enjoy the video, do consider liking it, because that tells me that you want to see more of this. And if you want to see me finish the village, then make sure that you subscribe. Alright, well, I'll see you in the next one.